13 Roads. Here is a tale I have not yet forgotten. Aine Donaghue's grandfather died sitting up at the kitchen table, eyes open, right hand still holding the cup he had been drinking from, on the fourth morning after a woman in a grey shawl sat down on the stones outside his door and began, without stopping, to comb her hair. And she combed for 3 nights, and on the same morning, 140 miles away, in a hospital bed in Limerick, the grandfather's brother Liam, who no one in the family had spoken to in 19 years, died in the same minute and in the same posture. And when the family went to wash the grandfather's body for the wake, they found a single long grey hair wound twice around his right wrist. And the only one in the house who had seen the grey-shawled woman on the stones was Aine, who was 7 years old. The quiet road is the road of those who are told. It does not take, it does not bargain. It sits outside the door 3 nights before, and it lets the family decide what they want to do with the warning. The keepers of the quiet road will tell you that this is the cruelest of the 13 roads. I will tell you what the grey-shawled woman was, and what the Donaghue family had done to be on the quiet road's list, and what Aine Donaghue did with her 3 nights of knowing, and what the road told her on the 4th morning when both deaths came in at once, and what she has done with the 73 years since. The quiet road runs through the west of Ireland. In this particular country it touches 16 other countries the keepers know of, and it has in every country a different name. In Ireland the road is called An Bóthar Ciúin, which is a phrase that means more than the English quiet road. It means a road that does not raise its voice, a road that does not need to. The road is the road of the Banshee, the woman of the She, the woman of the hill country. In English the word has come down as Banshee, and the word in English has come to mean only the cry, which is not what the woman of the hill country does. The cry is from a different story. The woman of the hill country sits. She sits outside one door at a time. She sits for 3 nights. She combs her hair the entire 3 nights, with a comb of bone or a comb of horn, and the combing is not for any reason that has been recorded. She does not, as some versions claim, weep, and she does not, as other versions claim, sing. She combs. And on the morning of the 4th day, a member of the family inside the door is dead. The quiet road sits outside the doors of 14 Irish families in 2 clans, and one of the clans is the Donaghues. The Donaghues have been on the quiet road's list for, by the family's own counting, 1140 years on the night the woman in the grey shawl sat down outside Aine's family's door. The thing that had put the family on the list was not a thing anyone in 1952 could have recalled. It had been done by a man called Aine Donaghue in the year 812 on the strand of a small bay on the western coast. And it had been a bargain, not a wicked bargain by the standards of the country at the time, but a complete one, in which Aine Donaghue had asked the woman of the hill country for the date of his own father's death, and the woman of the hill country had given it to him, and Aine Donaghue had paid the price, which was that his line, for as long as the line lasted, would be told. The line has lasted. The line is now in its 42nd generation, and Aine Donaghue, born in 1945, is in the 39th living generation, and her great-granddaughters, Cleona and Surla, are in the 42nd, and the woman of the hill country has, by Aine's own count, sat outside a Donaghue door for 3 nights on 391 separate occasions in the line's recorded history. The night the woman of the hill country sat down outside Aine's family's door, the house contained 4 sleepers and 1 waker. The sleepers were Aine's father Brendan, her mother Mara, her grandmother Ethna, and her grandfather Padraig. The waker was Aine, who was 7, and who had woken from a dream she would not, even 73 years later, describe to me when I sat with her in her kitchen and asked.
I knew before I went to the window.
That is what she said to me. She said she had known in the dream that someone was outside. She said the dream had not been frightening. She said the dream had been, if anything, calm. as if the house itself had told her while she slept that the next thing she did was important, and that the house wanted her to do it slowly. So she rose, slowly, and she walked to the window of her parents' bedroom, which faced the street, and she lifted the curtain, slowly, and she looked down. The woman was sitting on the stones with her back to the door. Her shawl was grey wool, the color of wet slate. Her hair was loose down her back, and it was very long. Aine remembered, 73 years later, that the hair reached the ground in a pool behind the woman, as if there were too much of it to be on one head. In one hand, the woman held a comb that Aine, even at 7, knew was made of bone. The other hand was lifting a long strand of the hair and laying it across the lap, and drawing the comb through it, slowly, root to end, root to end. The comb made no sound. The hair made no sound. The woman did not turn. Aine stood at the window for a long time. She said,
I knew not to wake them. I do not know how I knew. I knew it was a thing only for me to see.
She went back to her bed. She lay down. She did not sleep until the sky was light, and when she did sleep, the sleep was without dreams. And when she woke, her grandmother Aine was sitting on the edge of her bed.
You saw her?
I saw a woman with a comb.
Yes, that is who she is. She will be there tonight, and tomorrow night, and after the third night, someone in this house will be dead. I am sorry, Astor. I am sorry it was you who saw her. In this family, the seeing chooses the one it chooses, and it has chosen you, and I cannot undo that. The rules of her are these. We do not speak to her. We do not look at her after the first seeing. You have looked, and that is enough, and you must not look again. We do not open the door. We do not, on any of the 3 nights, leave the house after sunset. We close the curtains, and we sit in the kitchen, and we eat what we eat, and we talk what we talk, and we go to bed at the time we go to bed, and we do not, any of us, behave as if she is there. She is there because she has come to tell us. She is not there to harm us. She is there, Astor, because we asked, once, very long ago, to be told. And on the 4th morning, we will know which of us.
Aine asked her grandmother who she thought it was going to be.
I do not know. It is not always who you would think. The road does not tell us who. The road tells us only that someone is.
The Donaghue family lived the 3 days as Aine had said. Brendan went to work at the bakery. Mary took in washing and cooked. Padraig, who was 81 and who had been retired for 16 years, sat in his chair by the kitchen window and read. Aine kept the house and watched Aine, and at sunset each night closed the curtains, and at full dark sat down at the kitchen table with the rest of them, and did not speak of the woman on the stones. Aine did not look out the window again. She wanted to. The woman, she could feel through the stone wall of the house, was still there. The combing did not stop. The combing was not a sound exactly, it was a pressure, a slow, continuous with, against the inside of her ear. And she could feel that the pressure was steady, and that it was getting closer, not in space, but in time, as if the 3rd morning were a thing being pulled toward the house by the hair. On the 2nd evening, Aine asked her grandmother whether the woman ever did anything different.
She did, once. She stopped combing.
And then
the family inside that door did not lose anyone on the 4th morning. The family inside that door lost 2 people on the morning of the 2nd day. The road decided, that one time, not to wait for the family to have its 3 nights. We do not know what the family had done to make her stop. We hope we do not learn.
On the 3rd night, Aine, against everything she had been told, look, she did not lift the curtain. She knelt at her parents' bedroom window with her forehead against the cloth of the curtain, and she opened the eye that was closest to the gap at the edge of the curtain, and through the gap, she could see exactly the woman's left shoulder and the left side of the woman's head, in profile. The woman was no longer combing. The woman was looking up at the window. The woman's face, in the moonlight, was Aine's grandmother Aithne's face. 60 years younger, with no lines, with the same chin and the same nose and the same eye Aine could see. And the woman was smiling at Aine, and the smile was not unkind, and the smile was not a smile any 7-year-old should have to see. And the woman raised one finger to her lips, slowly, and the woman shook her head, slowly. No. And the woman went back to her combing. Aine did not tell her grandmother what she had seen. She did not tell anyone. She did not tell me for 73 years. Until the morning I sat with her in her kitchen in Ballyduff, in the same house, at the same kitchen table her grandfather Padraig had been dead at on the morning of the 4th of November, 1952. And she said,
I thought for a long time that she was my grandmother coming for him. Aithne had been ill that autumn, Padraig had not. I thought the woman had her grandmother's face because the woman was the family's own, and the family's own had picked which of them to come for. I thought when Padraig died that she had changed her mind, that she had spared Aithne because Aithne was the one who had taught me the rules and had taken Padraig in her place. I thought that for 61 years. And then in 2013, Aithne came to me in a dream. Aithne had been dead by then for 46 years. Aithne said to me, "It was not me. It was never me. The woman has the face of whichever Donaghue is the next teller of the rules. It was your face, Astord. You did not know your own face yet because you were 7, and you had not seen it from the outside. The woman wears the face of the one she will, in her turn, become."
The woman of the hill country is a Donaghue. The Donaghues, on the 4th morning after the seeing, are the ones who go.
There were 2 deaths that morning, the 4th of November, 1952. Padraig Donaghue in the kitchen at 6 minutes past 6. Brendan Donaghue's brother Liam, who the family had not spoken to since the funeral of Liam and Brendan's mother in 1933, over a quarrel about a small piece of land. Liam in a hospital bed in Limerick at 6 minutes past 6. Both Donaghues, both told. The road, the keepers will tell you, does not take. The road sits and combs and lets the family decide whether to lock the doors. And the family always locks the doors. And the family always loses someone on the 4th morning, because the family was always going to lose someone. The combing is the courtesy. The combing is the road letting the family say goodbye in the only language the road has. 3 nights of knowing. The reason the Donaghues hear her, and the other 13 families on her list hear her, and no one else does, is that 1100 years ago, every one of those families' founders made the same bargain Con Donaghue made. They asked, once, for the date of someone they loved. They got it, and the line that came from them, forever, would be told. The road, the keepers say, regards this as a kindness. The road regards it as the smallest thing it can do for a family that once asked to know. Aine Donaghue is 78 years old as I write this. She has, in her life, seen the grey-shawled woman 3 more times. Once in 1968, on the stones outside the same door, the night before her mother, Mary, died of a heart attack at 38. Once in 1984, the night before her father, Brendan, who had been mending a roof, fell. And once in 2017, the night before her husband, Sean, who was not a Donaghue by blood, but had taken the name at the wedding, died in his sleep. In all 3 cases, the woman wore Aine's face.
I am going to be the one who sits, Astord. I have known it since I was 7. Cleona and Sela, my great-granddaughters, are the ones who will look out the window and see me. I have written them a letter for their mothers to give them on the morning their grandmothers die. The letter says, "Do not open the door. Do not speak to me. I am sorry that it is me, I love you. I will be back in my turn for you, and you will sit outside your own granddaughter's door, and you will not be alone, and the family will go on being told.
She poured me another cup of tea. She said,
The quiet road is the kindest of the 13. A store. The others take without asking. The others do not come and sit. The others do not give 3 nights. We asked once to know. We have been knowing for 1100 years. I would not, given the chance, undo what Con did. I do not think any of us in our generations would undo it.
The keepers of the quiet road will tell you the same thing, in their own way. They will tell you that the cruelest thing a road can do is take without warning. They will tell you that the second cruelest thing is to warn and let the family decide what to do, and have the family always do the same thing. Close the curtains, eat what they eat, talk what they talk, go to bed at the time they go to bed. They will tell you that the third cruelest thing, and this, the keepers say, is what the quiet road actually is to wear the family's own face while you do it. So that the family knows, on the 4th morning, that the warning came from inside the family. That the family is not being visited by a stranger. That the family, for 1100 years, has been combing its own hair, on its own stones, outside its own door, and has been telling itself, 3 nights at a time, that it is time. The grey-shawled woman, Aine told me as I was leaving, was last seen on the stones outside a Donaghue door 11 months ago. The door belonged to her cousin Maeve in Cork. The seer was Maeve's 6-year-old granddaughter, who is now 7. The woman wore the granddaughter's face. Maeve died on the 4th morning. The granddaughter has the letter, in her mother's keeping. For the morning her own mother dies, and she will not, Aine told me, open it until then. The quiet road is patient. The quiet road has been patient for 1100 years. The quiet road will be patient for as long as the Donaghues last. I have walked 13 roads. I have stood at the mouth of each of them and listened to what each of them is. The quiet road of the 13 is the only road that has ever, on any night I have stood at its mouth, said anything to me. The quiet road said one thing. It said it once, and very softly, and only once. It said, "Thank you for asking. I have not, in the years since, been able to decide who the road was thanking. I have not been able to decide whether the road was thanking Con Donaghue 1100 years ago on the Strand, or whether the road was thanking the Donaghue line for keeping the bargain generation after generation without complaint, or whether the road was thanking me for listening, or whether the road was thanking the woman on the stones, who is, in every generation, a Donaghue, and who sits and combs and tells, for being willing in her turn to be the one who comes. I have not decided, but I think about it. On quiet roads, on the 3rd nights of the months I am alone."